Hello, everybody. So I'm joined with two of our great members of the lineup. Batting number 3, Patty Murray. Batting number 4, Amy Klobuchar.
3 is 2.
Pitching, Chuck Schumer.
You've got holes in your lineup about like the Yankees.
I'm pitching, yeah. Oh, we shouldn't mention the Yankees. I'm leaving. Who's 2?
Yes.
Many people might fit into number 2.
Okay.
As a leader, it says. Okay, anyway, President Trump and Senate Republicans, their agenda boils down to 3 things: costs, chaos, corruption. Let's start off with costs. The Yale Budget Lab this week estimated that Trump's tariffs will cost U.S. households $2,400 a year. For a hardworking family, $2,400 is a lot. Healthcare costs are going to skyrocket. That's not just due to the big ugly bill, but because Republicans failed to extend the ACA's premium tax credits, which expire at the end of the year, even though we Senate Dems tried three times to do so. What does this mean? It means very soon, not on October 1st, 2020, not on January 1st, 2027, but as soon as this month, next month, Americans, 24 million Americans, will soon get a letter in the mail telling them that their premiums are going to go up in 2026, and that's not a small increase. The estimates are very large increases. If Republicans don't work with us to restore these credits, premiums are supposed to go up 75%, and they're going up so much that 5% of Americans, 5 million Americans, they're going up so much that 5 million Americans will lose coverage altogether because they won't be able to afford it. So to be clear, 17 million Americans will be kicked off health care because of what the Republicans did this month, and what they have refused to do, extend the tax credits to make health care more affordable in their massive tax bill. They had a lot of room for billionaire tax cuts, but not to prevent these premiums from going up on middle-class families. As costs go up, so does chaos. Donald Trump's trade war, total chaos. One minute he says yes to tariffs, the next he says no. After that, he changes his mind. Someone in our caucus today got up and said they calculated he made 100 changes in the tariffs already. Okay? What about DOGE? Again, unmitigated chaos. DOGE has fired, rehired, and fired again everyone from VA workers to medical researchers to USAID workers, even to nuclear safety personnel. Social Security is being hollowed out. 7,000 staffers were fired. Wait times on the phones have gone up. Online services have gone dark at times. Millions of seniors who depend on Social Security have been left in the dark. So with costs rising and chaos rising at an all-time high, what are the White House and Senate Republicans focused on? Unprecedented corruption, aided and abetted by Senate Republicans. Trump accepted a luxury plane from Qatar to use as Air Force One, with potentially hundreds of millions in taxpayer dollars to be spent on renovations. He turned the South Lawn of the White House into a Tesla dealership. His family is getting rich off schemes and selling access for profit. Trump's rampant self-stealing puts corruption front and center. I've never witnessed, and I think in American history, an administration that enriches themselves from their government actions. It's gross. And of course, that leads us to the Jeffrey Epstein cover-up. Trump promised he'd release the Epstein files while he was on the campaign trail, yet he has yet to do it. Speaker Johnson quite literally preferred to shut down Congress, sending everyone home on an Epstein recess to avoid the topic. Americans are right to be angry over the lack of transparency, but there are also some very real questions about risks to national security. Given Trump's total about-face on releasing files and given what we know from the FBI whistleblowers, it's natural to ask, what happens if our adversaries use cyber attacks and other means to access files and materials into Epstein that are damaging or worse for President Trump and or those around him? What happens if the Epstein files end up in the hands of Russia or North Korea or Chinese governments? Unless the Epstein files are fully released to the public, could our adversaries use that use that information to blackmail someone like the president? And what kind of risk would that be for our national security? So today, I called on the FBI to immediately conduct a counterintelligence threat to ensure we understand the risk posed if a foreign adversary were to gain access to anything connected with the files, to determine three things: if foreign intelligence agencies could gain access to the files, second, for the FBI to identify any vulnerabilities that could be exploited by foreign intelligence agents, and third, for the FBI to show publicly they're developing mitigation strategies so this couldn't happen. Last Thursday, DHS and HHS were among several government agencies hacked as part of a breach to Microsoft's SharePoint system. This was confirmed that it was Chinese actors, so we don't need this happening again. We have to ensure that it can't happen. National security is not and should never be a partisan issue. We need to do everything we can to make sure we're protecting the U.S. and American families. This report is vital in doing that. Beyond that, there is one more thing Donald Trump could do to quell people's anger, confusion, frustration, and our deep fears. That is, release the files.